Rivals.com here in Tiger, Georgia. Rabun County High School up in the mountains, a place that I hope to be at some point this fall, watching the guy you see on camera right here, Gunner Stockton, one of the top 22 prospects, quarterbacks in the country. Recently came out with your final two, Georgia, South Carolina. We're going to focus on Georgia in this interview, a place in Athens you've been, countless times since you were little growing up. You had a guy that played here, Charlie Warner, that played at Georgia. A lot of Georgia fans around you here. I mean, you're close with George Bobo, who's from around, lives right here. His son Mike played at Georgia, who's now recruiting you for South Carolina. So a lot of interesting angles. But let's talk on Georgia. We were just talking off camera, kind of how you gave Georgia the news they were in the final two. Your guy you've been talking to most has been Coach Monken, new offensive coordinator from the NFL, and then Buster Faulkner, his assistant as well. You went right to the top dog, though, Kirby Smart. Take us back to that kind of when you gave Kirby the news that, hey, you guys were in my final schools, and kind of what his reaction was.
Yes, sir. Actually, me and my friend, he's a defensive end, Big Mac, we were fishing in a fishing tournament on Thursday on Lake Burton. I live on the lake, and I had to, because that day, it was the day before, and I released it, and I called him just because he told me to call him at 7, and that's when the tournament starts. And I was talking to him, and it was all we just talking. I told him we were fishing, and I actually caught a fish when I was talking to him. I had to put him down and put him on the speaker, but he took it really good, and he was really good to me.
Did he ask any questions once you told him, like, hey, can we do anything else to move forward? What was kind of, I guess, his response, or did you just kind of hang up and say, I gotta go, I'm fishing, coach, sorry? You know?
No, it was. I mean, he asked like the kind of the same thing, like, is there anything we can do recruiting my family, or anybody we can do with your sister, recruit her a little bit, but it was all good, just knowing that they really want me, and I'm their guy too.
Talk about just Georgia in general. Why would you say, if you had to give me a few reasons, Georgia's in the spot they're in with you? What are the key factors that's put Georgia in the final two?
In Georgia, just knowing, it's the University of Georgia, and just playing for your home state, and growing up, I wasn't a really big Georgia fan, but my granddaddy was, and he was a huge Georgia fan. But just knowing that it's your home state, and that's probably a big part.
Well, I know obviously there's limitations on, you're still 2022, so coaches can't just pick up the phone and call you yet, and now that'll change, but you wanted to cut that off a little bit ahead of time anyway before September 1st rolled around. But what's been Georgia's approach about how they've recruited you? What have they laid out in front of you or talked to you about to kind of grab your interest like this?
It was a little slow, like recruiting, probably a couple years ago. It was a little slow, like when they offered me, and they didn't really recruit me as hard as they are now. But they.
When would you say, let me cut you off, when did that change? When would you say it kind of shifted where they kind of, turned up a little bit?
Probably right after my last year's season.
Okay.
That winter is when it kind of ramped back up.
Okay.
But I enjoyed it. I don't know what it was, but I really enjoyed it.
Well, what's been their approach with you? Has it been, the new OC Todd Monken, laying out his plan, I guess using his NFL connection? What's been Georgia's kind of approach to you the last 8-9 months to get to this spot?
I've been just trying to get that connection with Coach Monken and build a relationship with him. And right before all the COVID and everything, I went and I stayed a weekend with actually Charlie and his friend Eli Gibson, and just spent the weekend in Athens and went to a basketball game and did all that. But it was just being in Athens and being there and seeing how it really is really helped.
Talk about Athens. Obviously people recognize that as a just true college town or whatever, but you've been around Charlie, who's, a lot like probably you. Outdoorsman, fisherman, country boy, laid back, doesn't like all the outside noise and hype around him and his name. What's your thoughts on Athens, from being around, football to just college life and things like that?
Yes, sir. It's only an hour and 15 minutes away from here. And, it didn't, I don't think I would enjoy, being in a city and kind of being that, downtown, you know what I mean? But it's kind of outdoor, in the country a little bit. And but I really like it. It's a true college town, like you said. And the fans and everybody there is crazy about football.
Yeah, I was going to ask you next. Game day. You've been there many times for games. How do you describe game day at Georgia?
Oh, it's great. Just everybody tailgating and just everybody's wanting crazy about football.
Coach Monken. Let's talk about him a little bit. Obviously, he's still somewhat of a mystery to the Georgia fans with no spring ball, no real summer camps. I mean, they're kind of in the install process now with the team, getting ready for the season. What's been his approach with you? What do you think about him? What's he talked to you about so far?
I really like Coach Monken. The way he's explaining the offense to me and stuff. I really like him, and just the things he has for Georgia, I'm really excited to see.
Kirby Smart, we talked about Muschamp on the other interview. How would you talk about, describe Kirby, and then your time with him, whether it be on the phone, face to face, watching him coach on TV. What's your overall thoughts on Kirby Smart?
I mean, he's really energetic like Coach Muschamp, but he's always been good to me and just being real genuine, and he seems like a guy I'd play for.
So talk about, last question, talk about maybe what you want to see in Georgia, this fall. Do you have any questions that need to be answered from them, maybe to help you push forward and make this decision?
Not really. Just trying to find out what I like about each school and what I really like about them and don't like about them, and just really keying in on those things and trying to figure it all out.
Gunner, always a pleasure, man. Thanks so much for your time, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.